Hey, Nosy Joe here. Welcome back to my channel. Hey, we're up here in Flynch's neck of the woods today in Switzerland County, Indiana at the heydays. So we're going to see a little demonstration on blacksmithing and hay baling, turn of the century stuff. So let's check it out.
One song that was written in, I think it's 1842 or 43. And you must have an opinion about immigration, right?
Well, everybody has an opinion.
There you go. Well, this was a song that was written about a dear race of people, the Irish.
Okay.
They were all fond of. Yeah. Anyway.
This is what a soldier might carry, huh?
That's true. Now, not every soldier would carry cards, but they spend a lot of time in camp and they get bored.
Yeah.
So they buy them off the sutler. Sutler was kind of like a Walmart, traveling Walmart,
Okay.
everything.
That's what you got.
If they went into battle, they throw those away because they didn't want their parents to know they had cards.
Yeah, that was
And if they survived, they'd buy some more when they got back.
Okay.
Simple 30-hour brass movements, weight driven. Nothing really to go wrong with it.
Using the same sort of techniques and materials that they had in the period. This is all something that they could have done. Now, more often in the period, you would not have a blacksmith here in your front yard. Of course, you would go down to the town. So from the Tebow farmstead to Beebe ain't far. There's a couple blacksmiths operating in Beebe. You can go there to have your blacksmith work done. You also got Madison down the other way on the river.
Okay.
Madison was actually pretty decently industrial in the period, so you can go there for blacksmith work to be done.
Okay. And that's just straight coal pellets in there?
This is bituminous coal.
Okay. What's bituminous?
Bituminous. It's a variety of coal that works real good for this work. Mined in all different parts of Kentucky and West Virginia. The coal I'm burning right now, I think it's from Kentucky. It's called bituminous because it's got a content of what's called bitumen in it. It's a kind of an oily tar substance. As that burns, it sticks together into these clumps.
Okay.
See that bigger clump there. Other quality it has is that it will be willing to stay lit without it having oxygen flowing into it. Other varieties of coal, the other one is anthracite, that's the other major one. It's tough to keep anthracite burning if you don't have oxygen going into it all the time.
So that oily stuff burns? Is that what keeps it? Is that what?
Yes, that oil in it is what keeps it burning so well.
So it's kind of got a built-in fuel.
So most blacksmiths prefer bituminous coal, but you use what you can get. Some regions they use charcoal more prominently. Charcoal works just fine.
The magic is right here. This is about half of what makes your pattern. This is the threading, and it comes from patterns.
Depending on what you want.
Depending on what you want. This is the threading here. So I've got that here, and that determines which harness it goes through. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
What's going to happen is the horse downstairs, he's powering the whole thing. So we go around once, that lifts this big 600-pound oak block up there. And then at that point, we open this door and we're going to pitch hay in. And in fact, I do need a volunteer for pitching hay. You know how to pitch hay? You can? All right. Well, if you're willing to pitch hay, I need someone to pitch hay.
I like how you're dressed.
Just so happy.
Yeah. So we'll open these doors and then fill the chamber up with hay, and then that block will be dropped. That will start to compact the hay. We'll do that about 6 times. Now, while we're doing that, there's a screw. When you're down there, you'll see that big screw. That raises and lowers the floor of this chamber up and down with every rotation. So we're going to go around a couple times, one way to lift the block and drop it. We're talking about 6 times. Then we're going to reverse the horse and go the other way. That's going to lock the block in place, and that floor is going to raise back up, and that's really the pressing. That's when we get the tight, compact press on the bale. Fill this up with hay. If you look up here on that beam, you can see how frantic they were about getting hay in here. That beam up there is all covered with pitchfork marks. Another thing is, you can do this right off the back of the hay wagon. Pull the wagon right in here. When these barns were usually set up, you had a doorway on both ends. You just pull the wagon in, unload right off the wagon while you're baling hay. If you got too much hay to bale, you can toss it off the other side into the hay mow. And then, throughout the season, you can bale that hay. The first one, we want to fill it up pretty good. Those are all pinch points up there. All right, drop it. There we go. There's an interesting, simple lever mechanism on the back that allows me to open both sides of the door at once. Kind of interesting mechanism. I think originally they were working this thing all from the basement. There's pulleys on here that we don't have hooked up quite right that would have opened this door from the basement. So someone down there is running the whole thing, opening the door, walking the horse, pulling the lever, and all we got to do is fill the hay. We're ready. There we go. Second rotation. Ready?
All right, coming down.
Okay, so now we're going to press the hay. So we're reversing the horse, and we're going to go 4 rotations in the other direction to raise that screw up there, and that's really going to cause that pressing. At that point, after we get it pressed, then we tie it off. You're going to watch this block rise up again as the floor rises, and then it'll stop on those notches up there. I've heard it fellas who did this originally were much better at tying knots than I am.
Anyway, did I mention the leeches?
No.
Yeah, and water moccasins, my favorite.
Okay.
Yeah, have one of those today. Well, and then I mentioned tornadoes and lightning and leeches. Did I mention that?
You mentioned that once.
And water moccasins.
Oh, those, yeah.
Yeah, anyway.
They haven't gotten any better.
No, they haven't. Yeah. The snakes have gotten smaller, I think, because they haven't gotten enough to eat.
Yeah, they're still not popular.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Cool. Well, I headed out to find a place and got there mighty soon. Seeing old man, see that he was reading a Tribune. Told him why I got there. He had a rage if I said, no, you are a Paddy and no Irish need apply.